Have you ever done everything right, prayed, made dua, trusted Allah, and still felt like nothing was working? Have you ever stood in the middle of the night, tears on your face, wondering if Allah is even listening? Have you ever felt so broken, so lost, so alone, that even your faith started to shake? If you have ever felt any of this video is for you, because today we are going to talk about the one thing that every single prophet, peace be upon them, went through. The one thing that separated those who were destroyed by their trials from those who were elevated by them. The one thing that Allah Himself commanded us to have more than 40 times in the Quran. Tawakkul, trust in Allah, but not the tawakkul that people misunderstand. Not the tawakkul of sitting at home doing nothing and waiting for miracles. The real tawakkul, the tawakkul of the prophets, the tawakkul that moves mountains, the tawakkul that turns the darkest nights into the brightest dawns. By the end of this video, you will understand what trust in Allah truly means, why Allah made it an obligation, what Allah has promised those who truly trust Him, and exactly how to build that trust in your own life, step by step. So say Bismillah, and let us begin. So what is tawakkul? What does it actually mean to trust in Allah? Many people have a completely wrong understanding of tawakkul. They think tawakkul means sitting at home, doing nothing, and waiting for Allah to fix everything. They think tawakkul means abandoning all effort, all planning, all action, and just saying, Allah will take care of it. But this is not tawakkul. This is laziness with a religious label. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was once asked by a man, "Should I tie my camel and then trust in Allah? Or should I leave my camel untied and trust in Allah?" The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, replied, "Tie your camel and then trust in Allah." This one hadith changes everything. Tawakkul is not the absence of effort. Tawakkul is doing everything within your power and then leaving the outcome entirely to Allah. It is taking every step you can, making every plan you can, working as hard as you can, and then saying, "Ya Allah, I have done my part, the rest is yours." The Arabic word tawakkul comes from the root word wakala, which means to appoint someone as your representative, to hand something over to someone you completely trust. So when you have tawakkul in Allah, you are saying, "Ya Allah, I am handing this matter over to you, because I know that you are more capable than me, more wise than me, more merciful than me, and your plan is always better than mine." And here is the beautiful part. Allah does not just accept this trust. Allah becomes your wakil, your guardian, your protector, your representative. The Quran says in Surah Al-Imran, verse 173, "Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil." These were the words of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, when he was thrown into the fire. These were the words of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he was told that his enemies had gathered a great army against him. And in both cases, Allah responded to that trust in a way that no one could have imagined. The fire became cool and peaceful for Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and the army that came against Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, returned without fighting. This is what tawakkul does. It does not remove your problems. It gives you Allah, and when you have Allah, no problem is too big. So tawakkul is three things together. First, you do your part. You make the effort. You take the steps. You make the dua. Second, you hand the outcome to Allah completely, without holding on, without trying to control what only Allah can control. Third, you accept whatever Allah decides, with the complete belief that Allah's decision is always better than what you wanted, even when it hurts, even when you do not understand, even when it feels like the opposite of what you prayed for. This is tawakkul, and this is what we will build together in this video, now that we understand what tawakkul is. Let us talk about why Allah made it so important. Why does Allah want us to trust Him? What is the purpose behind tawakkul? Why does Allah mention it more than 40 times in the Quran? The answer is simple, but it will change the way you see your entire life. Allah made tawakkul an obligation, because without it, a human being cannot truly live. Think about it. Every single human being on this earth is searching for one thing: peace. Not the peace of having no problems, because problems will always come. Not the peace of having everything you want, because no one ever gets everything they want, but the peace of knowing that no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay, and that peace can only come from one place: complete trust in the one who controls everything. The Quran says in surah talaq verse 3, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish his purpose. Allah has already set for everything a decreed extent." Read that again. Allah will accomplish his purpose, not your purpose, not the purpose you planned, not the outcome you wanted. Allah's purpose, and Allah's purpose for you, is always better than your purpose for yourself. This is why tawakkul is so important, because it shifts your focus from what you want to what Allah has planned. And the moment that shift happens, everything changes. But there is another reason why Allah wants us to have tawakkul, because tawakkul protects you from the two greatest diseases of the human heart. The first disease is fear. Fear of the future, fear of failure, fear of losing what you have, fear of not getting what you want, fear of people, fear of circumstances, fear of everything except Allah. When you have true tawakkul, that fear disappears, because you know that nothing can happen to you without the permission of Allah. And if Allah has permitted it, then there is wisdom in it, even if you cannot see it right now. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said in an authentic hadith recorded by Imam Tirmidhi, "Know that if the entire nation were to gather together to benefit you, they would not benefit you except with something that Allah had already written for you. And if the entire nation were to gather together to harm you, they would not harm you except with something that Allah had already written against you." Let that sink in. Not a single person on this earth, not a single circumstance, not a single event can harm you beyond what Allah has already written. And knowing this is the most powerful protection a human being can ever have. The second disease that tawakkul protects you from is grief. Grief over the past, grief over what you lost, grief over what could have been, grief over the mistakes you made. When you have tawakkul, you understand that everything that happened in your past was written by Allah, and Allah only writes what is best for his believing servants. Even the painful things, even the losses, even the failures, they were all part of a plan designed by the most wise, the most merciful, the most loving. So the purpose of tawakkul is not just to help you get through your problems. The purpose of tawakkul is to set you free. Free from fear, free from grief, free from the exhausting need to control everything, free from the anxiety of an uncertain future, free to live, free to love, free to worship Allah with a heart that is at complete peace. And that freedom is worth more than anything this world could ever offer. Now let us talk about what Allah has promised those who truly trust him. Because Allah does not just command tawakkul, Allah makes promises to those who have tawakkul. And these are not empty promises. These are the promises of the one who created the universe, the one who has never broken a single promise in all of human history. Promise number 1, Allah will be sufficient for you. The Quran says in surah talaq verse 3, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him." Sufficient, not just helpful, not just supportive. Sufficient, meaning Allah alone is enough. When you have Allah, you do not need anything else. You do not need the approval of people. You do not need the perfect circumstances. You do not need everything to go according to your plan, because Allah is sufficient, and Allah's sufficiency is infinite. Promise number 2, Allah will provide for you from sources you never expected. The Quran says in surah talaq verse 2 and 3, "And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him a way out, and will provide for him from where he does not expect." From where he does not expect. This is the miracle of tawakkul. When you truly trust Allah, provision comes from directions you never planned. Doors open that you never knocked on. Opportunities appear from places you never looked, because Allah's resources are infinite, and he provides for those who trust him in ways that defy all human logic. There are countless stories of people around the world who were in the most desperate situations. No money, no hope, no way out, and they turned to Allah with complete trust. and Allah provided for them in ways they could never have imagined. This is not a coincidence. This is Allah's promise in action. Promise number 3. Allah will give you strength beyond your own capacity. The Quran says in Surah Ibrahim verse 12, "And why should we not rely upon Allah while He has guided us to our ways? And we will surely be patient against whatever harm you should cause us. And upon Allah, let those who would rely indeed rely." Patience in the face of harm, in the face of pain, in the face of injustice. This patience does not come from human strength. It comes from Allah, and Allah gives it freely to those who trust Him. Think about Prophet Ayub, peace be upon him, who lost his health, his wealth, his children, everything, and yet he turned to Allah and said, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." He did not lose his trust, he did not lose his faith, and Allah restored everything he had lost, and doubled it. Think about Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, who was thrown into a well by his own brothers, sold into slavery, imprisoned for years for a crime he did not commit, and yet through every single trial, he never lost his trust in Allah, and Allah made him the most powerful man in Egypt. Promise number 4. Allah will love you. The Quran says in Surah Al-Imran verse 159, "Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him. Allah loves those who trust Him, not just rewards them, not just helps them, loves them. And the love of Allah is the greatest thing a human being can ever receive in this life or the next. When Allah loves you, His angels love you, and then love for you is placed in the hearts of the people of the earth." Promise number 5. Allah will never waste your trust. The Quran says in Surah Hud, verse 123, "And to Allah belong the unseen aspects of the heavens and the earth, and to Him the matter will be returned. So, worship Him and rely upon Him, and your Lord is not unaware of what you do. Your Lord is not unaware. Every prayer you made in the darkness of the night, every tear you shed when no one was watching, every moment you chose to trust Allah when everything around you was falling apart, Allah saw every single one, and Allah will never let any of it go to waste. These are the promises of Allah to those who trust Him. And Allah never breaks His promises." Now comes the most important part. We know what tawakkul is. We know why it is important. We know what Allah has promised those who have it. But how do we actually build it? How do we develop true tawakkul in our own lives, especially when everything around us is falling apart? Here are 5 practical steps, straight from the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Step 1. Learn the names and attributes of Allah. Tawakkul is built on knowledge, and the more you know about Allah, the easier it becomes to trust Him. When you know that Allah is Al-Wakil, the ultimate trustee, the one who manages all affairs perfectly, trusting Him becomes natural. When you know that Allah is Ar-Razaq, the provider of all provision, worrying about your risk becomes impossible. When you know that Allah is Al-Alim, the all-knowing, who knows what you need better than you know yourself, accepting His decisions becomes easier. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Learn the names of Allah and call upon Him by them." The more you learn about who Allah is, the more your tawakkul will grow. Step 2. Reflect on the times Allah has already helped you. Look back at your life. Think about the moments when everything seemed impossible, the times when you saw no way out, and yet, you are here today. You survived every single one of those moments. Allah brought you through every single one of those trials, and He will bring you through this one too. The Quran says in Surah Ad-Duha, "Did He not find you an orphan and give refuge? And He found you lost and guided you, and He found you poor and made you self-sufficient." Allah has already proven Himself to you. Through your own life, through your own story. Reflect on that, and let it build your trust. Step 3. Make dua constantly. Dua is the most direct connection between you and Allah. And every time you make dua, you are practicing tawakkul. You are saying, "Ya Allah, I cannot do this without you. I need you. I am handing this to you. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Dua is worship, and the most beloved thing to Allah is when His servant calls upon Him, not just in times of need, but always, in times of ease, and in times of hardship. Make dua in the morning, make dua in the evening, make dua before you sleep, make dua when you wake up, make dua for everything, big and small, because every dua you make strengthens your connection with Allah, and every dua you make is an act of tawakkul." Step 4. Take the action and release the outcome. Remember the hadith of the camel. Tie your camel, and then trust in Allah. This means do your part completely. Give it everything you have. Make the plan, take the steps, make the effort, and then release the outcome to Allah. This is perhaps the hardest part of tawakkul, because we are human beings, and we want to control. We want to know how things will turn out. We want guarantee, but tawakkul requires us to do our best, and then let go completely, and trust that Allah's plan is better than our plan, even when it does not feel that way. Step 5. Be patient with Allah's timing. The Quran says in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 153, "O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Allah is with the patient, not those who get what they want quickly, but those who are patient, those who trust Allah's timing, even when it feels too slow, even when it feels too late." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Know that victory comes with patience, relief comes with distress, and ease comes with hardship. Victory comes with patience, not before patience, not instead of patience, with patience, after patience, on the other side of patience. So when you feel like nothing is working, when you feel like Allah is not responding, when you feel like your du'as are hitting the ceiling, remember, Allah's timing is perfect, and what is coming is always better than what has passed. These 5 steps, practiced consistently, will build in you a tawakkul so strong that no trial will be able to shake you, no hardship will be able to break you, and no uncertainty will be able to steal your peace. Because when you truly trust Allah, you have everything. We have reached the end of this video, and before we close, I want to speak directly to you. Yes, you, the one watching this right now. Maybe you came to this video because you are going through something right now. Maybe you are carrying a weight that feels too heavy. Maybe you have been making dua for so long, and the answer has not come yet. Maybe you have tried everything, and nothing has worked. Maybe you are tired, exhausted, broken, and maybe, deep down, your trust in Allah has started to shake. If that is you, I want you to hear this. Allah has not forgotten you, not for a single second, not for a single moment. Allah has never taken His eyes off you. He saw every tear you cried in the darkness. He heard every dua you whispered when no one was listening. He felt every moment your heart broke, and He was there. Every single time. The Quran says in Surah Ash-Shah verses 5 and 6, "For indeed with hardship will be ease. Indeed with hardship will be ease." Allah repeated it twice, in the same verse, back to back, as if He knew that you would need to hear it more than once. With hardship will be ease, not after hardship. With hardship, meaning right now, in the middle of your pain, in the middle of your trial, in the middle of your darkest night, ease is already there, already coming, already on its way. And here is something that will change everything. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, "Had Allah lifted the veil and shown you what He has prepared for you on the other side of this trial, you would have begged Him to increase the difficulty." Read that again. If you could see what Allah has prepared for you on the other side of this pain, you would have begged for more of it, because what is waiting for you is so beautiful, so beyond anything you could imagine, that this trial would feel like nothing. This is the promise of Allah to those who trust Him. So today, right now, in this moment, make a decision. Not a decision to pretend that everything is okay, not a decision to ignore your pain, but a decision to hand it all to Allah. Every fear, every worry, every broken dream, every unanswered dua, every closed door. Hand it all to Allah and say, Ya Allah, I trust you. I do not understand your plan, but I trust you. I cannot see the way forward, but I trust you. I am broken, but I trust you. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Say it, mean it, and then watch what Allah does, because Allah has never, not once, in all of human history, let down a servant who truly trusted Him. Not Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, in the fire. Not Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, in the prison. Not Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the cave. And not you. Never you. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared for something beautiful, something worthy of the trials you are going through, something that only Allah knows, and only Allah can give. Trust Him. Just trust Him. If this video touched your heart, please share it with someone who needs it today, someone who is going through a hard time, someone whose trust needs to be renewed. Your share might be the thing that changes their life. Subscribe to the Message of Islam, because every single day, we bring you the words of Allah with clarity, with love, and with truth. May Allah strengthen the tawakkul in every heart that watched this video. May Allah ease every hardship, answer every dua, and replace every loss with something more beautiful. Amin. Jazakallahu khairan. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.